Welcome to the Pretty Confident Podcast, where we embrace authenticity, own our worth, and build unshakable confidence. I'm your host, Sierra Renee, so let's dive in. Good morning and welcome to another podcast episode. As you can see, if you've been here for the other podcast episodes that have been visual, the past couple, months by now, you guys know we are in a different setting. If you're listening to the audio, thank you for tuning in. You know, I love my audio people, but my visual people, y'all have been running those numbers up. So thank you. I really do appreciate it. Now, we are in the new house. We have been in this house for going on 2 months now, and this is my first time podcasting in the house. So I am very excited. I hope my voice isn't too loud because the room that I ended up moving my podcast and office area to is right above our owner suite, okay? And my husband is down there sleeping. It's currently 6 o'clock in the morning, and I was like, oh my goodness, it's about to be Tuesday. I need to go ahead and record an episode for my people because I told them that there would be an episode out this weekend. We already missed 2 weeks. So I definitely want to stay new and true, or not new and true, but I definitely want to stay true to my word. Because these are the last 2 weeks of 2025, and we have been rocking and rolling all year. There's been a lot of accomplishments. There's been a lot of hurdles to get over. There's been a lot of downtime and down seasons as well throughout the year. But with these last 2 weeks, I definitely want to go out with a bang. And so I was like, let me go ahead and break in the new house on the podcast. So this is the area for now. Back here, I'm going to do the wallpaper that you all saw on my last setup that was in the apartment, because I really do love, look, I'll go ahead and show y'all because I'm at my content creation table, which I do for my TikToks and Instagram and YouTube. But this is going to be the wallpaper that I use. I love this wallpaper. I love how, it doesn't completely mute out my skin. Side note, do y'all see my hair? I just got this done this past weekend and I'm not feeling it. I thought I would. But maybe I should have asked for a blend of 1B or 4, because this is 6, 13, and 27 pre-mixed. And I'm just like, I'm not feeling it. So I am thinking about going back to locks in 2026. I miss just the freedom that comes with locks. Your hair is already almost always done unless you need a retwist. There's just a lot of things that I would change with my locks when I do it this time around, which I already had locks for 4 years the first time around. Combed them out, my hair was long and luscious. But over the course of, me keeping my natural hair out instead of locked, I did not do so well with keeping up with it. So now I'm just I'm about to have a baby. I don't want to worry about my hair always being done. And if it's not done, it's, looking crazy. So these hairstyles, my girls know, $300 every time, especially with the length that I got. I got waist length / butt length, and it was $300. And since they played with my time, I did not give them the tip, but I am big on tipping. Anybody that I go and see, whether that's, lashes. No, I don't go see anybody for my lashes because I do my lashes by myself at home now because they make it so easy. But all the other things that I refuse to do by myself, if you are a DIY girly, I love that for you. I love it for you. But for me, I like convenience, and I like somebody, placing my trust in somebody else to do the things that I trust them to do. So my wax specialist, I've been going to her since when did I graduate MTSU? 2022. So I've been going to her since 2020, end of 2021, 22-ish. No, actually it was 2020 because I moved back home in 2022. So yeah, I've been going to her for almost 6 years. I've been going to my nail tech for almost 10 years. Like somebody asked me who did my Christmas nails, because I don't think I showed you guys. But somebody asked me who did my Christmas nails, like while I was shopping. And I was like, oh, this girl out in Laverne, like, since I'm in Columbia now, I'm like, I know it's way too far, but she's been doing my nails since I was like a sophomore in high school. So if I round that up, you're typically 16, 17 by the time you get out of your sophomore year. She's been doing my nails for almost 10 years. Like next year will make 10 years, and it's insane to say, but cultivated a relationship, great person, very good at what she does. So I'm going to drive and I'm going to pay and I'm going to tip for the services that I request. So, yeah, I mean, hair, nails. I got three different people I go for my hair. One for each specialty. So for braids, I go to an African braiding shop. And normally I always tip like 50 extra dollars. And then for my sew-ins that I rarely ever get and that I'm not really keen on getting, I go to this one lady and I typically tip her like 25 extra dollars. I mean, it's in and out with sew-ins. And then with my locks or anything dealing with my natural hair, like silk presses, anything like that, trims, I go to this one lady that has done my locks, started my locks, has done my hair since I've had locks. And it's been almost 5 years, because I think I started my locks in 2020 as well. So yeah, almost 6 years at this point. So, I mean, I just have different people that I trust, and it's convenient for me, and I trust them to do it. I'm going to pay and I'm going to tip. But when you play with my time and my money, no, specifically my time, that tip gets deducted. So the Africans, missed out on a $50 tip because it was two mix ups. So one, they thought I had an appointment like a week or two earlier than I did. And I was like, let me check my phone. I just got a new phone, so I hope my message is saved. And I was like, no, I don't have an appointment today. It's in 2 weeks and it's at this time at 8 a.m. They were like, oh. So I'm like, whoever, I was texting to schedule put me down 2 weeks earlier, but my message say 12:20 at 8 a.m. So that's not my fault. I'm not coming. You're asking me if I'm coming and I'm not. So that was that. And then they were like, oh, well, we won't be able to do 8 a.m. I like early appointments so I can have the rest of the day to myself, okay? I do not like late appointments because then, like pregnancy, I just feel like one, I already have to drive far, like almost an hour out. And then two, I have to stay up at the beginning of the day, drive, then go. Like, I'd rather wake up, and as soon as I wake up, that's the first thing I'm doing. That way, as soon as I get home, I can go to sleep. And I'd be falling asleep in that chair. And that's exactly what I was doing when I was getting my hair done at 2. I think they changed my appointment to 2:30. So you missed out on that tip, because not only did you inconvenience me, but now you have switched my entire appointment from what we originally agreed upon. And it's not like, I get it if it was my fault. I'd tip even extra if it was, a problem on my end, but it wasn't. So, and the fact that no money was taken off, I'm just going to take your tip money away. So, yeah. Anyway, I'm not feeling this color. I tried to do like, I think I was just in like a hyper blonde stage where I just wanted blonde, 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 blonde. Because if you saw my hair, in braids before this color, like I said, this is 613 and 27. The color I had before this in braids was 613, 27, 4, and 30 mixed. I thought it was too orange. So I feel like this one, it's like these colors aren't really clashing with my skin complexion the way I want it to. Excuse me. So I think after this is going to be my last braided style, with the baby on the way, Miss Kalia Renee. I think I'm just going to go back to my locks. I want low maintenance. I don't want a lot of, tension on my hair. I don't want to have to consistently pay over $300 to get one hairstyle that'll last up to 6 weeks. Recommended, for your hair health and everything. So I'm just going to switch it up and I'm going to go back to locks. But I'm going to change the way I do my locks. I'm going to change the starter locks. I'm not going to mess with it as much. And I just want to see it grow over time. And then I'm going to go back to my red. because people know I be killing the red hair color, but I feel like it was just so oversaturated with dark skinned females doing red or just any black girls doing red. And I just felt like it was just like time for a change. Can we please get somebody to do something different? Please. But anyway, red looks really good on me. You know, it doesn't matter what anybody else is doing, just as long as you like it and you are feeling yourself with it, that is fine. But anyway, how are you all doing? Thank you so much for being here. I hope you guys are having an amazing second to last week of December. If you are watching this or listening to this on Tuesday, the 23rd, or Wednesday, the 24th, Merry early Christmas. You guys, I love, 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 love Christmas time. It's just time to get family together, time to have fun, time to relax, time to take your mind off of anything and everything that is bothering you and giving you tension. These are really the times, like holidays are really the times that you need to relax and step away from whatever is going on in your day-to-day life. So I'm so excited. You know, this is our first Christmas in our new house. Next year will be our first Christmas with our brand new baby. Oh my goodness, it's just going to be so super exciting. I got me a little sweater that says Mama Claus, and then I got my husband one that says Daddy Claus. So I just can't wait to wear those on Christmas Day. And I was expecting to have a bigger stomach, and that bigger stomach is not upon us. Okay, so I'm like, what is going on? Where is the stomach? It is missing. Like, don't get me wrong, she in there growing. She's measuring, you know, a little earlier than what she's supposed to apparently. So my baby girl gonna be tall. I hope, I think, based on, what we've seen in the ultrasound. Them long legs be kicking. And I can't feel every kick, but I know she was kicking my ribs one time. And I was like, get your ass off of me. Get back down now. Scrunch up them legs. But no, you guys, I'm going to kind of like prepare for the day because like I said, I am recording this at 6 o'clock in the morning, and I'm just like, let me just record as I'm, kind of getting ready and getting myself ready, prepped for the day. We're going to go ahead and start getting myself ready. How are you guys doing? How are you guys doing? You guys know I asked that like a million times to make sure you guys understand that I genuinely do care. I do want to know because you guys are going to be helping me build this community. We are now at, I want to say 18 subscribers on YouTube. So that is just amazing. Thank you to all the new subscribers. Thank you to all the new listeners on the audio that I'm not able to see, like iHeartRadio, Amazon Music, Spotify. I'm not really able to see, if I get any new people on there. I just see like how many plays I get or anything like that, and specifically only on Spotify. So I don't know if anybody is on iHeartRadio, but if you are on iHeartRadio or Amazon Music, I love you down. Thank you so much for holding those platforms down because I try to do the most seamless stuff as possible or try to work smarter and not harder. And you guys know it's already just a one man or a one woman team with me. It's just me. Hopefully at some point, I'm able to bring on others to kind of help me like edit and post and schedule and record and stuff like that, because honestly it's so hard. Like anybody and everybody that does this stuff by themselves, kudos, because I don't know how I'm surviving, but I'm surviving, okay? But it's very time consuming, especially when you already have another life to live or other things in your life to do. And this is not like your sole purpose. Like I love podcasting, but I do have a day job. I love podcasting, but I am a regular human being. I love podcasting, but I like creating content for, my short form content like TikTok, Instagram. I need to do better on YouTube. I just feel like I don't like finding music that's not copyrighted to add to videos on YouTube. So if I'm not talking in the video, I don't post it on YouTube at least. But yeah, you guys, so it's just very hard. I have everyday day-to-day activities and everyday life. So things can be really hard when trying to juggle all of this, right? Trying to figure out what I want to do new in my personal life, kind of set myself up for success, and some new things to do, like just new things. Like I want to try tennis, which I may try pickleball first. My dad is like, oh, well, pickleball is just for people that can't play tennis. I was dying. So, just new things to do, especially here in the area. And while I'm pregnant, I don't want to stay stagnant. Everybody keeps telling me, oh, sit down, relax, relax. Who I'm not gonna say I'm not somebody who, doesn't like to relax, because I definitely like to relax. I just don't like sitting down when I could be doing something. And I think majority, of my life, I've always done something. So just to completely stop doing everything that I like doing or that I'm used to doing, like working out. Like me and my husband literally just went on our first walk since being in the new house, which y'all know I was going to the gym almost every day with my weighted vest, my 12-pound weighted vest, and walking and running on an incline for about 30 to 45 minutes, because I would do it on my lunch break and then go back to my apartment, take a shower, and log back in for work out of my lunch. So, going from doing that every day to noticing something is going on with your body, because I was like, why come I can't run for as long as I normally can? And then finding out I was pregnant, which is why my exhaustion levels were so high and I wasn't able to run, to doing, nothing from what other people are saying to do. It's just so hard. Or people, making it kind of like a disability, like, oh, you're pregnant, you're not supposed to do this. Oh, you're pregnant, you can't do this. Like, I appreciate it, but listen to the pregnant lady. If she says she can do something, like, I get it if I was just, you know, doing the absolute most. But honestly, I'm literally not doing anything. Like, honestly, today or tomorrow, I'm literally going to do this back wall wallpaper. And if I run out of wallpaper, I'm just going to order more and then finish up this wall, because this wall is going to be like my podcast wall. And then I'll have two chairs, a whole shebang. Like, that's how I want to set up, TV mounted. And at first I was going to put it on the wall over here, but I was like, honestly, when I'm doing content, this is what people would see, just, vertical. So yeah, I was like, I think I like this being in my background rather than when I'm doing content and moving my table over there, my content people seeing my workstation. I don't like that. Like, I'm really trying to have separation of areas, and this is the best way I can do it. But yeah, you guys, so these, oh my goodness, my lashes look so good. But did some lash primer. But anyway, we're gonna go ahead and jump into this video, because honestly, I've already prolonged it enough. You guys know I like to, do a little business, or I mean, a little pleasure, a little personal stuff before business. Like, somebody who just keeps it all business, I'm not completely fond of. Which, I'm just wiping off my lip gloss because I want to do my signature lip combo, which I need to go to Sephora and get my, I need to go get my lip stain. They have this lip stain by Huda Beauty. Oh my goodness. She did her absolute big one on the lip stain. But have you guys ever felt like you kind of like peeped something before it actually happened? And then, you probably told somebody about it and they were like, oh no, you're just tripping. Have y'all ever had that happen to you? Because I want to say I have had that happen to me a lot, especially when I was younger. And it's just so crazy how people try to gaslight you and feel like, oh no, that's not what's going on. That's not what's going on. But behind closed doors, that's what's going on. Like, let's be real. But especially when it's older people, right? Because when they're older, you're younger than them, they think that they know literally everything and that they know best. But honestly, there are some grown people that don't even know what they're doing with their life. So how can you know best if you don't even know what you're doing with your life is best, right? Because if you knew best, you'd do the best. Then I do these little moles because I have like little beauty marks, not moles, but like, yeah, Like there's a natural beauty mark right there. I just want to enhance it. There's one right here, then one right there. But anyway, they think they know best because of their age, and they always try to make it seem like, oh, well, you're not this old, you're not that old, so you don't know. There are some young people, believe it or not, that are smarter and wiser than people older than them. Call it 30, call it 40, call it 50. There are some childish grown-ups out here, and a younger person may know best. 9 times out of 10, we just might, especially if, we got a head on our shoulders. But I have been in several situations where I peep something and I can see it. And people, like when I talk to certain people about it, it's like, oh, well, how you get that? Well, how you do that? Like, I don't understand how you got to that point. Or, oh, you must just be paranoid or insecure. The insecure one, wrap that up, throw it away. That's not who I am. That's not in my vocabulary, and that's not how I would describe myself any given day of the day, month, or my life. Never been that. So I just want to talk about, discernment over insecurity, because people will label it as insecurity, but it's just your discernment working. Now, I'm not going to say overtime, because sometimes it doesn't even take much for your discernment to kick in and be like, ooh, no, red flag. Something ain't right with that. And then you put certain pieces together, because sometimes it takes you to notice one thing to be like, oh, now this makes sense, because as I put other things together, this is the picture that it's giving me. And then sometimes you want to confront the person that, the picture may be including, you know, and they either don't know whatsoever what's going on, because they're not looking at their own situation in its entirety, or being, mindful of what's going on, or they know what's going on, they don't expect you to know, and then they'll gaslight you, right? So whether that's, them calling you insecure, whether that's them calling you jealous, that's them, trying to place any type of narrative on yourself to make you not trust yourself, not be confident in what you saw, what you know, and what you put together based on the known facts. Because, there's some things that, oh, well, I know this. Well, no, do you actually know based on true and proven facts, or do you just have an opinion, right? So, I remember this one time, I think I was like 18. I think I was like 17, 18. And there just was this one guy I was talking to, and eventually we ended up like working at the same spot. Like that was my very first job for like 5 years, but we ended up working at the same spot. And, you know, females, cougars, they are out there. So please beware, okay? Be wary and beware. But there was this older lady that was like just always, trying to talk to him, or saying like, hey, come back here, like trying to get him alone all the time. And most guys, they love that. When they get that type of attention, they run with it, because it's like, ooh, I got this, older lady on my coattail, whatever. Every time I go around, it's not even go around, but it's like, her attitude towards me changed, because I guess she knew that we were kind of communicating or talking or had some type of relationship or whatever, because it was never official. But she always just had like, she was really like always either distant, which I don't care, but everybody that I know, you talk to like they're your children. Not even your children, but yeah, no, your children, because she was buying stuff for them, all type of stuff. And I'm not saying that I wanted that. I just could tell that everybody around me, she was trying to, I feel like, rope in and make her feel like, or seem like, a genuine person, a genuine lady that was like looking out for the younger generation or whatever. But when it came to me, she was very standoffish. She wouldn't talk, she wouldn't speak, which I don't care. But if somebody else of my fashion that was around me, walking with me around her, she'd speak to them and not speak to me, or she would only speak to me because they're around. So I'm just like, I'm clocking that. I'm clocking that every time we're all in the, workplace. You're trying to get this guy, the same guy that I was, communicating with, you're trying to get him either alone, or tell him come meet you back somewhere for lunch, or pick you up something for lunch. I remember we went somewhere and she was like, well, what are you bringing me? what are we talking about? Like, it's just so weird. So, I started picking up small things that I'm like, you don't do this unless you like somebody. You don't do this unless you're interested in somebody. Mind you, you're older, completely older, like at least 20 years older, with two kids our age, if not a couple years younger. And then you have a husband, and now both of your kids were here. So I'm very confused on what you're doing. So I don't know. I guess he was just all that to her, and she just, wanted a young little thing on her hip. I don't know. Some people are so freaking weird and nasty in the head. But I think I had said something to somebody, and it got back to them, and they were like the guy kept coming back to me, and I was like, yeah, I know something's weird and something's off now, because you keep coming over here asking me, how do I know this, how do I know this? And I'm like, I know she likes you. Like, what is there to be secretive about? Every time, like, we're walking somewhere, you magically disappear thinking nobody sees you, just magically walk off, and then her meeting you at the back door to go to the break room, and y'all are like, let's not play stupid. I'm not a stupid female, and I'm not oblivious. So he went up whenever, like that day, whenever it kept coming up, he just kept coming back there, like going back to her, coming back to me, going back to her, coming back to me, like asking me, how do I know this? Or, what did I see? Or this, that, and the third, or what do I know? So it is true. It is true. I knew it. And just by you freaking out and like doing all this frantic stuff out of nowhere, and like relaying the message back and forth between what I say and what, she's, telling her what I'm saying. I know how girls act, and you are a grown woman acting like a little girl who has a little high school crush. You are married with two kids, well into their teen years, about to be 20, and you're messing with somebody that's the same age as your child, and then you're trying to put him on with your daughter. Like, it's just so weird. Like, can you imagine those Thanksgivings? Like, oh, I set him up with my daughter, and but then you secretly like him. It's like, all the stories that you hear about mothers doing stuff with their daughter's boyfriends. That's literally what that was set up to be like. And I'm just like, I want no part. I said, if that is y'all's relationship, if that is y'all's, situation, I don't care. I'm just stating the obvious, that I know that this is going on, and I'm not oblivious to it. If that's what's going on, it's what's going on. Why are you guys so frantic that somebody noticed? Anybody with eyes and a brain could notice. So, at first it was like, oh no, how does she know that? Did she hear that from somebody? Is she just making it up? Da, 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 da. Just for it to turn out to be true, because you know your intentions and you know what you are doing. Y'all know what y'all are doing. So I just let them be, because I'm just like, I want no parts of it. But to try to gaslight me, to try to figure out, like, fill out how I'm getting this information, whether somebody told me or if I have a brain of my own, was just like real weird, because somebody's like, oh, when people are pointing stuff out like that, it's because they're insecure. Or when people are pointing stuff out like that, it's because they're looking for something to be jealous about or be insecure about, or looking for something to be wrong. Sometimes our discernment is just that darn top tier. And because yours is not, you're jealous and you're upset that somebody else's is, and that they're able to point stuff out that is easily missed by you. So call it insecurity. I'm going to call it discernment, because not only did I see the signs, but I was able to call them out on their stuff, and they're over here acting like our secret is out, our secret is out. Well, obviously, when you start acting like that, it validates my point on what's going on. So, what's really the deal? Just for you to go and text this man and say, oh, I think our relationship, because this is when the whole August Alsina, Will and Jada Pickett Smith stuff came out. And so she's texting him talking about something. I feel like, our situation is just like their situation. Baby, how? I said, I am not in this. Leave me out of it. Leave me be. If this is what you like, this is what you like. So, I don't know, y'all. I was just like, I really saw into that, and I was really able to dodge a bullet, because, when women are older, they're real catty. And I feel like most of the time, older women are more dramatic and more problematic than younger girls, younger females. So, discernment, jealousy, insecurity, people are going to call it different things, but you need to know what it is for you, because a lot of people will try to define who you are and tell you who you are based on your own actions. But if you understand what your actions are being, you know, if you know how you're putting out energy and how you're going about things is in the most sincerest way possible, and it's based off what you are able to depict, it can't be insecurity. I feel like insecurity is you're looking for something to be wrong and it's something that you are projecting onto somebody else because you are not confident or you are not, that put together yourself. And so you're trying to project it onto somebody else. That's insecurity to me. But I had at no point any problem with who I was as a young female and who I liked and, what I had going for myself. This is an older lady trying to compete with a younger lady for a younger dude. Like I said, not my problem, not my prerogative, not a situation that I would like to be in. So if that's the relationship or whatever that y'all would like to go down it. But just know I'm not stupid. And so since I peep that, I'm going to let it be known that y'all are not fooling nobody, especially not me. So like I said, call it discernment. I'm going to call it discernment, but y'all can call it insecurity, jealousy. But when you are able to figure something out before anybody else is able to figure it out, or before the people that are involved even know what's going on, and then you end up being right at the end of the day, let's stop gaslighting people. You know what you are doing, you know what you have going on, and even if the other person doesn't understand what's going on, you know what your intentions are. So I don't know, but my insecurity, I have none. It's at zero. But if you have some insecurity, maybe work on that within yourself. I'm not saying that everybody is, everybody that's insecure is, jealous beings or whatever. All I'm saying is, if you know that you're not insecure, don't let people gaslight you into thinking that you are. Don't let people gaslight you into thinking that you're overthinking or being jealous or looking for something to be wrong, or can't stay in your place and don't let anybody gaslight you into any of that, because I promise you a guy that's running game will definitely gaslight you if you start to point out little pieces, put it all together, and now you get the full picture. And he's just trying to make sure that he keeps you and strings you along while also stringing other females along. It's not cute, it's not smart. And I want to say my black females, all of y'all out there, my females in general, that y'all have enough sense to kind of start picking that out. But I'm going to teach my daughter, a guy that you are not exclusively dating, you need to assume have other females in his phone. Okay. And it's not to say that, oh, accuse him of cheating. But a man that wants to be with you will be with you without confusion. A lot of times, if you have confusion in a relationship, that shows you how this person, thinks of you, what this person thinks of you, and what they think your relationship is. And if you are confused, that is going to keep you in a confused state of where you guys are, so that he can go and do things of his own, because y'all aren't together, but y'all not, single is what people will try to call it. No, we need to call things how they are. If I'm not with you, if we are not exclusive, I am single and I am free to see other people, which means you are too. But if you are trying to get me to be exclusive only to you, I expect you to be exclusive only to me. And if we are not, we're single. So let's stop playing the, keep chasing the coat's tail, or the dog chasing his tail, the rabbit chasing the carrot. Let's stop that, because I feel like it puts a lot of our females in negative headspaces. That's what drives insecurity, because they don't understand what a different female could have over them. But my daughter will know you are all that in a bag of chips, okay? And if a guy doesn't choose you, that's not a reflection of who you are. That's just a reflection of who and what he prefers. And you may not be that preference, because most of the time when you are smart, pretty, and got, common sense, and won't let anybody take advantage of you, people will move to the left. People will keep on moving, keep on marching, because they can't do anything with all of that. You are too sound in yourself to let somebody take advantage of you. So have the confidence to have that discernment. Don't let anybody gaslight you into thinking that, oh, well, since you're noticing all of this, you're looking for something to be wrong. Oh, since you're noticing all of this, you're looking for somebody or looking for something else in somebody, and you're being insecure or you're jealous because they have this and you don't, or they're getting this attention and you're not. Stop looking at it that way. If people are telling you that, they are trying to veer you off the correct path that they know you're going down, and they're trying to mislead you. So stay true to who you are. Understand that discernment is real, okay? Things will be pointed out to you because you are the chosen one. Things will be pointed out to you because you are God's child. Things will be pointed out to you because you are not somebody to continue to walk down a yellow brick road that has turned into, you didn't even know that it turned into goat. You didn't even know that it turned into dirt, okay? Just dirt, rocks, all of that. You're still thinking it's the yellow brick road, but at some point you got led astray, okay? So that's the episode for today. I genuinely wanted to talk about that because it came up because I started feeling something else and started sensing something else. And I was like, is that what this is? Or am I, like you always get that feeling, that sensation that something may not be right here. And most of the time you don't take action or take, any type of course on it just yet because you want to see how it plays out just to make sure you're not crazy. But when certain things play out and it's like, okay, I was right, let me go ahead and nip this in the bud, or oh, okay, maybe I was looking at this a different way or the wrong way. But it was good to notate that, okay, this may be something that may be reoccurring in other actions that they do. Now, is this just who they are, or are they trying to mislead me? Right? So you really have to think with your whole brain, not just your heart, okay? You really have to think with your brain and your heart when it comes to certain situations and certain people, because that insecurity word will be pulled out and thrown at you a million times before somebody admits that, oh yeah, this is the case, this is the situation. So have the confidence, stay true to yourself, believe in yourself. If you see something and you don't want to take action right there, let it play out just a little bit more to see if that is truly your discernment, or were you just thinking negatively about this person and their actions because you may not have had the full picture, right? So, that's the episode today, you guys. Discernment over insecurity. Don't let anybody gaslight you. If you feel like something is going on, just investigate a little bit more. Watch out for it before you take action, because sometimes you can jump the gun and bite the bullet, okay? And then you're out there looking stupid. So when I peep something the first time, I'm like, ooh, that's discernment right there. Something just made my radar go off that it's like, okay, you maybe need to take a little bit more close attention to this. And then that's when I start to be like, okay, I need to tune in a little bit more. I need to be more present when this stuff happens, so that I can see, is this the vibe that I'm getting, or was it just misleading because of one moment? So yeah, you guys, but like I said, Merry Christmas. I love you guys. Thank you so much for tuning in, my OGs. I love you. Returning listeners, I love you. New listeners, welcome. And I hope you guys enjoy this platform. We have one more week of December, so let's go ahead and make these last 2 weeks the best that we could possibly make it, and go ahead and jump into 2026. All right. Well, I love you guys. I'll see you guys in the next episode, which will be before New Year's. I'll talk to you guys later. Peace. Thank you for tuning in to the Pretty Confident Podcast. Remember, confidence isn't about perfection. It's about embracing who you truly are. So until next time, stay bold, stay authentic, and stay pretty confident. Peace.